Hey guys, Friday Dragon here, and today I'm going to be talking about something a little bit different than what I normally have on my channel. Instead of art and gaming, I'm going to talk to you about my glasses, because I know they're kind of come up in my videos eventually. I'm not afraid to be in front of the camera or anything like that, I just haven't figured out how to do the whole face cam thing for, the gaming. But once I do, I wanted you guys to know what my glasses are, why I have them, and, why I wear them. So I have something called Irlen Syndrome. It is a visual perception disorder that is basically caused from light sensitivity. And that's from any kind of light, fluorescent light, natural lighting, whatever kind of lighting I'm in. I get incredibly bad migraines. I feel nauseous without my glasses. And I can't function. I have a very hard time reading without my glasses. So much so to the point where when I was a kid in high school, people actually made fun of me for it, because I used to stutter and stammer a lot when I was reading. And that was actually very quite, humiliating and also embarrassing to have people ridicule you when, you were called on to read. Or have people ridicule you for being literally this close to the page with your finger underneath each sentence so you wouldn't fluff up a word or skip an entire paragraph. Because, to this day, if I read without my glasses, I read a hell of a lot slower, and, I end up skipping paragraphs, skipping lines, and people with Irlen Syndrome, some people can tend to see a glare coming up from the white paper from behind the words, so that's not fun to look at, and that also kind of distorts the page and how it is. And why I want to do this video is because there's not a lot of people that know about Irlen Syndrome. Not a whole lot of people understand what it is. Some people have mistakenly called it color blindness for me. And I was like, it has nothing to do with color blindness. It's not even associated with color blindness. And yet people have always seen them, oh, are you colorblind? That's something I've gotten a lot in high school. And I was like, no, it's not color blindness. It's something completely different. I'm just incredibly sensitive to light. And in school, I had overlays. They were purple and blue. I don't have them on me right now. They're actually in my bedroom. But I used to bring them to school, and I didn't really like to, because people were always asked, what are those? And, why do you have them? And I'd have to be like, I have this weird condition that not many people know about, and a lot of doctors, unfortunately, discredit, even though there's about 30-plus years of research behind it. And to see that, not too many people have raised awareness for it is kind of disheartening. There have been more videos on YouTube lately, however, that I did see pop up when you type in Irlen Syndrome. It's also known as scotopic sensitivity disorder, I think. It's again a visual perception disorder, so my brain doesn't perceive certain wavelengths within the color spectrum of light, which is kind of fucked up, but it is what it is. There's not much I can do about it other than wear my glasses. And one thing that annoys me every time I go out in public is people oh, are those sunglasses or are those transition lenses? They're not. And I know my glasses are actually kind of dark compared to some people's, and to me they're a kind of mauve-y color. And I've had people actually say, oh, nice sunglasses, or hey, you look good in your sunglasses, and I'm like, they're not sunglasses, but thank you. And they get awkward, and they're like, what are they then? It's I had to pay a lot of money for these. Because, the testing, again, is not cheap for this. I say that now. Because you have to sit there in a room and basically get tested with a bunch of different colored lenses in order to find your right color. So mine may be a mauve color, but somebody else could have a completely different color, such as purple or blue or orange or yellow. It really depends. Some people even have them darker than mine, where they do look like black sunglasses, but they're not. They just need it that dark because their eyes are just that sensitive to the light. And And, you know, to be able to, like, actually make a video and bring awareness to this is something that I've wanted to do for a while. I initially had started my channel about 2 years ago, but hadn't started filming till now. I've had a lot of stuff that's happened over those 2 years. One of them being that we were moving, and like I was going to school at the time, and then I was also working, and it was just becoming too much to deal with work and, you know, school and having to move, and then having my grandparents try to fix the house up that they were going to sell. We initially moved out before they did. They're still there kind of like figuring stuff out, but it's just me, my mom, and my brother, and like her fiance living here right now. And, you know, my mom has Irlen Syndrome, my brother has Irlen Syndrome. My mom's lenses are more of like a bluish gray, and my brother has like orange lenses, so it really goes to show that we each have different colored lenses here, and that not every person with Irlen's is going to be the same. Not everyone's going to see the same thing on the page. Not everybody's going to have, like, you know, words that are like jumping off the page, or words that are like kind of merging together, or like even like falling apart to the point where you're only like seeing parts of the words because they just kind of like scatter across the page. There's all sorts of different things, and I will try to find something and link it down below so you guys can learn a little bit more about this disorder. And I want you guys to be able to know what it is, so you're not constantly asking, what are those glasses, and why do you wear them? Because that's something I don't want to have to reiterate over and over again. But yeah, I mean, it's just something I have to deal with, and, you know, it's something other people have to deal with too. So if you were to go to the testing, it took about 2 days for me, because it's such a long process. I started like early in the morning at like 8 o'clock and didn't get done till around like 4 o'clock-ish, 3 or 4. And we had to stop and come back the next day because I was just literally that exhausted looking at like half of the colored lenses that they had me to choose from, because they want it to be as precise as they can. But after those 2 days, it was well worth it because, you know, I should probably also mention that I don't have a prescription linked to these glasses. I have 20/20 vision, which is a blessing because having a prescription added to the glasses I know can be a bit pricier. And in order for them to do that, they have to know the exact prescription before they do the colored lenses. Otherwise, they can't do it, you know, once the prescription's already in the lens. They have to do it all in their lab. And it gets sent away for like a good couple months for them to make your Irlen lenses. But once you've gotten them, they're really, really good. And I really recommend anybody who has you know, who needs them, who has Irlen's, to get them. Because I think it's just, it changes your life. It helps us so much. And I'm able to see the world in a way that I couldn't before. Because I had a hard time even seeing individual leaves on the trees, which I know sounds sad and sounds weird at the same time, but it's true, because it also is, it can mess with people's depth perception as well, which is another thing common with Irlen Syndrome. Also, I want to say, what else was I going to say? I'm trying to think. Irlen Syndrome, I think, also is, you know, it's just, it's not commonly found here, and also it's commonly mistaken as dyslexia, because people, and it's also referred to as, it can also be mistaken for ADHD and ADD as well, because I was mistakenly diagnosed as having ADHD and dyslexia all my life, and once I got tested, the person who did my screen testing for my filters, which is what they're called, told me, you were probably never dyslexic to begin with. It was all just Irlen Syndrome, which, you know, to me, to know that it was that bad, that it was being mistaken as dyslexia, is really sad. I think it should be made more known, especially in schools. Like, I know they test for dyslexia, but I really feel like they should test for Irlen's as well, because Irlen is like, I've seen a few kids in school who had the same thing as me, and like they had colored lenses, and I was like, they have Irlen Syndrome, and I was like, you know, that's cool that they're rocking their glasses, because, like, I'm not gonna lie, the first time I had my glasses on, I did feel very self-conscious, but once you get over that fact and realize that it helps you so much in life, you don't even notice that they're there, and you don't really mind people thinking that it's weird, because once you explain it to them, for the people that really do care about you, they're gonna stay with you no matter what. And, yeah, I think I'm gonna leave this video here. But that was what I wanted to talk about, was Irlen Syndrome and my struggles with it. And if you guys have any struggles with it, let me know down in the comments below, because I think it's important to raise awareness for stuff like this. So anyways, I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye!